What if I told you that a man who lived over a century ago predicted exactly how you'd feel today, trapped in routines, crushed by systems, and haunted by invisible pressures? A man whose name became an adjective, Kafkaesque, to describe the absurd nightmare of modern existence. This is the story of Franz Kafka, a writer who saw the truth of human life so clearly, it terrified him. But what exactly was Kafka trying to tell us, and why does his philosophy still echo in our lives today? Franz Kafka was born in 1883 in Prague, then part of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. He grew up in a world of contradictions, Jewish, German-speaking, but living in a Czech city. This tension between identities shaped his entire worldview. By day, Kafka worked as a lawyer in an insurance office, bureaucratic, mechanical, repetitive. By night, he wrote stories filled with fear, loneliness, and helplessness. He was quiet, anxious, and often ill. Yet, through his writing, he explored questions that most of us avoid. What does it mean to be human in a world that doesn't care about you? How do we find meaning when life itself feels meaningless? Kafka once said, "A book must be the axe for the frozen sea within us." And that's exactly what his writing did. It broke through comfort and forced readers to face the cold truths of existence. The word Kafkaesque describes something that feels both absurd and terrifyingly logical, like being stuck in a system that no one fully understands, yet everyone obeys. In The Trial, Kafka's character Joseph K. is arrested for a crime he's never told about. He spends the rest of the story trying to understand the system, but the more he searches, the more lost he becomes. It's a metaphor for modern bureaucracy, power, and alienation. Kafka saw the rise of faceless institutions, governments, offices, corporations, and realized they could crush individual identity. Sound familiar? Today, we face endless passwords, paperwork, customer support bots, and social algorithms that decide what we see and who we are. Kafka predicted this world long before it existed. Kafka's philosophy centers on alienation, the feeling of being disconnected from society, from others, and even from yourself. In The Metamorphosis, Gregor Samsa wakes up one morning to find he's turned into a giant insect. The story isn't about monsters or fantasy, it's about what happens when we lose our value in a world obsessed with work. When Gregor can no longer earn money, his family stops caring. Kafka shows us that our worth is often measured by productivity, not humanity. Isn't that what we feel today, when rest feels like guilt, and identity depends on our usefulness? Through absurd stories, Kafka reveals uncomfortable truths. We are trapped, not by chains, but by expectations. Kafka's philosophy aligns with existentialism, though he came before Sartre or Camus. He believed the universe was indifferent, perhaps even hostile, and that humans are left searching for meaning in chaos. Yet, unlike nihilists, Kafka didn't say life has no meaning, only that we may never understand it. In The Castle, a man spends his life trying to reach mysterious authorities who control everything but never reveal themselves. It's a symbol of our endless search for answers. From religion, from institutions, from life itself. Kafka once wrote, "There is hope, but not for us." It sounds bleak, but maybe it isn't. Maybe he meant that hope exists beyond human control, that meaning is something we create, not something we find. Kafka never saw fame in his lifetime. He died in 1924, at just 40, from tuberculosis. Before his death, he asked his friend Max Brod to burn all his unpublished work. Brod refused, and that's the only reason we know Kafka today. Imagine that, one friend's disobedience gave the world some of the most profound literature ever written. Kafka didn't write to be famous. He wrote because he had to. Because his words were the only way he could survive the absurdity of life. A century later, Kafka's world has become our reality. We scroll endlessly, trapped in systems we don't control, constantly seeking meaning in a maze of noise. Kafka teaches us to face the absurd, to accept that life is strange, unpredictable, and unfair, yet still find dignity in the struggle. He reminds us that being human means feeling lost sometimes. But in that confusion, we are alive. So the next time you feel overwhelmed by the system, remember Kafka. The man who saw it all coming. He turned pain into philosophy, confusion into clarity. And maybe, through his words, we can too. If this journey through Kafka's mind opened yours, hit like, subscribe, and share this video. Because in a world that often makes no sense, thinking deeply might just be the most rebellious act of all.